and welcome to the fourth annual Creepypasta Oktoberfest! As you can see, I'm using my evil Oktoberfest voice, which is definitely not my pirate voice, and wearing all black. And yes, ECGC means something. It means death, as in dead dreams! I just made myself sad there. As per this year's Creepypasta idea, I have all of your responses for the first week of October printed out here on illegible Twitter cake that I'll have to read backwards because fuck me. Also, I don't have a title for this story, so I'll have to rely on future me. Future me. What are we going to call this? Welcome to the penis. I can't hear you, future me. Yeah, I know you can't hear me. In the future. I know. And so we shall begin with our first story. That title. It was a cold, windy night. A dashing young lad was walking through the street, trying to keep the fedora on his head. Continued. Oh, fuck. Continue. God damn it. And the hentai under his trench coat. Gee, I hope this storm doesn't make me late for dinner with my Wi-Fi. Woofu, weefoo. He liplessly said. Direct message, Noah Miles Nesmith Cake Jerry. No, this is not a Twitter. It was a dark and stormy night when Cute Fuzzy Weasel was reading crappy fanfiction until he was interrupted by a phone call. Suddenly, a drunken Hagrid burst through the door and exclaimed, We're gonna go to Hogwarts, Thomas. He had crashed his motorcycle in a pit, but soon he found himself on a hellish, fiery land. Hagrid climbed into Thomas's body and began driving him to where he was supposed to go. Once upon a time, there was a little engine named Edward. He lived in a shed with 5 other engines at Creepypasta 27. Goddamn. Calculating the measure of existence, there was a man named Zack, the Outspoken, and a creature of the same name, ... This land was colloquially known as Glenbeck's political alignment. Suddenly, a great and might weasel appeared. Continued. Once upon a general unit for measuring existence, there was a man named Zack, the Outspoken, and a creature for this was... From behind one of Glenbeck's muscles. You're a wizard, wizard, Harry, he seemed to convey via interpretive dance. You're a wizard, Harry. Once upon a time, the story tends to restart itself every couple of pages. Once upon a time, a ghost took his dog Templeton out for a walk. When, out of nowhere, an electric socket sproinged out. And where doing their own thing, Outspoken was punching his gonads out of his paranoia over jerking off, while Paxella Von Peter was flirting with him in a socially unacceptable manner. It was with a jack-in-a-box. That hellish land Hagrid found... Okay, so the story not only restarts itself multiple times, but there are multiple story threads throughout this thing. The hellish land Hagrid found himself inside was an abortion clinic. Hagrid was then chased out by angry feminazis. He had a panic attack, 0 replies. John Lopez? Zach. All right, listen up. Now I called you 2 here tonight for a very important issue. Glenn Black is plotting to kill people through John Lopez. Suddenly, Jeebus came down and blasted a big bottle of Dr. Pepper down Laura Croft's busty chest. Laura then shot Jeebus, but Jeebus got back up. Video games! And I want in on it. Because he got up, he realized that he was in hell. He saw a huge skyscraper with a billboard that said, Hell's Auto Repair Shop. Buy for all your auto needs. And then a skeleton pooped out. Oh my god. Spooky Jojo N97, Metal Ducky, John Cowden, National Murray, Noah Giles Mills, Nedmith. Oh my god. And 11 others followed you. And then Sheldon from Big Bonanza Theory pooped out and said Banyinska, and then they all jerked themselves to death. This is so spastically wonderful. Once upon a time, again, it restarted itself. Once upon a time, there was a young boy named Sheldon, and he said Banyinska, and everyone died around him, and then he was sent to jail. And in jail, he accidentally dropped the soap and got pregnant with Pennywise the Clown. So he was sad, and then he broke out of jail and got hit by a car. He turned into a goth ghost. During a dark, cold winter, it restarted again! During a dark, cold winter, I was sitting at my cabin when something moved in the closet without thinking. I took another look into it, and it was Sheldon from the Big Bonanza Theory. So a story thread has started to evolve here. All right. It was Sheldon from the Big Bonanza Theory. Oh my god! And then I was shocked to also see Hedgeberg in front of a bloody tombstone saying, "No syntax forever." When I walked inside, I saw Satan, and he said, "Hello, being. Are you here to get something fixed?" And I instantly started crying and bawling my eyes out in fear of no piracy for the Nintendo Switch. Nobody expects the Nintendo Switch. When I got close to it, a skeleton pooped out and holding a chainsaw, riding a Cerberus jumped out from it. And then Cute Fuzzy Weasel jumped out of the closet, showering us with updates about how to make crappy pastas. Thus we all exploded at once. L. And then I freaking jumped out a window, broke glass, cut arm. Ouch! Skeleton chased me with chainsaw. 1. I reached in pocket, pull out crucifix. However, the freaking skeleton snapped my crucifix, so I freaking started to use my kung fu on skeleton. The crucifix repairman opened the main door to the house and stated, "Listen now, I know things may look rough right now, but everything's going to be okay. I'll fix your crucifix for you, Sheldon." Okay, so Sheldon's the guy who's talking. The repairman touched Sheldon's thigh sexually. So later I went to see the doctor, and he did an X-ray and X-ray, and it turned out there was a skeleton inside me the entire time. Holy shit! But then we all revived from the explosion because of skelly magic from the spoopy gods of the old ages of 1973 through 1974. They were very, very popular. They were, back then. And then Cute Fuzzy Weasel jumped out of the closet, showering us with How's that? How about this? One person creates a beginning and everyone just replies to that. Can that work out? Or, you know, we could do a shared Google Doc. I don't know, I'll have to look into it. So popular that they completely ignored the plot point about Hagrid and Thomas the Tank Engine. So did everybody else. Completely. They weren't spoopy skelly men. Cute Fuzzy Weasel was sent to Guantanamo Bay under charges of psychic terrorism, where he met Mysterious Man. After that explosion, Satan jumped off the roof to punch Santa because, as we all know, Cute Fuzzy Weasel's soul is owned by both of them. And then he pulled out his dick and started to fat. After several hours of wandering, I then came across Mao Zedong, and then I proceeded to mock him for having dong in his name, and then wandered on. One night, Thomas the Tank Engine came out from his shed, and he was like, "Internet!" And after that, he exploded into huge fire and popcorn. And after that, Jeff the Killer emerged from Tiff Fire, and he was all like, "God damn, That was scary shit. So he explodes too. 0 replies, 0 retreats. I was so frightened that the skeleton pooped out and held me at gunpoint and wanted my wallet. But since I lacked an internal body structure, I couldn't get to the wallet, so I just screamed in unbearable agony until my lung collapsed. But then, to my horror, I found out that the Grim Reaper was also a Skellingong! And yet he offered us some Hot Pockets. It was really great till we said, let's go to the strip club. And then he responded, my mother was a stripper. And suddenly, grand queer androids kicked their way in and vaporized the winking assholes from existence. The water from the winking a-hole materialized into Jesus Christ, and then he had an existential crisis because he's winking a-hole water Jesus. Sheldon was flamed by himself. We're back to Sheldon, who became a my mirror. He yelled at the world from beyond the dead grave tombstone pizza. He was angry. 15.73 years later, a Grail and her boyf walked into a haunted house. Everything was covered in tape. The boyf took off the tarp on the couch. The grill then creamed at the sight of what was on the bed. It was a dead body! But it didn't have flesh on it, so it was okay. Good to know. The boy exclaimed, then the phone rang. The grill picked up the phone and answered the phone. Hi? She may have sang nothing. She hanged up. Alpha and 5 others liked your tweet. A fat weasel had witnessed the whole scene before him, and this to say it, blimey ho limey, that's one big clusterfuck it is. The weasel then proceeded to chug a bottle of acorn wine. Whoa! He made himself and flew away with the flatulence he got from the beverage. There was once a boy named Tommy, and now we've started over again. There was once a boy named Tommy. His only friend was a ball. One day his ball talked to him. It said, kill your family and offer me tea. Their blood. In exchange, I won't make a second Emoji Movie. Tommy now had to choose his family or a shitty movie. Tommy said, I'd choose Satan. Just then the ball melted and Tommy died from a bullet shot from hell. The end. There. Then a super mecha negotiator negated the super mega negative nation field and turned everyone into super negative nation mega mechanics. After that, I stood before the horrifying creature that looked hyper-realistic. So, ... I said, ... how's life doing? Pretty good. We went to an ice cream parlor. After eating ice cream, the creature yelled loudly, brain freeze! Froze everyone but me, and it died. 10, a skeleton pooped out, so I called my BF dad on the phone, but BF said, my did it. Then, if dead, 10 who was phone. Tis with today old T-blood, tis man-godded blood everywhere, tis snort crazy, bitted everyone dis. Blood man was Sagan, one new was Sagan on phone 2. And then he offered us some Hot Pockets. It was really great till someone said the strip club. Again, someone replied, welcome to the penis. That was a lot of yelling. And a lot of strange, unstructured story. Well, that's over. Okay, right, so, start posting your stories for next week. Hopefully I'll get to it by Friday or Saturday, depending. I'm not sure how to make it so that doesn't happen again. I guess everyone just reply to one tweet, or, like, how about I make a tweet, and then everybody reply to it? How's that sound? Anyways, Cute Fuzzy Weasel, see you again next week, and as always, have a spooky Halloween! Alright. Maybe I'll get a guest on to read the next one.